Hi there, everyone. I'm Annalie with Broadway in Chicago, and today super excited to be talking with the leads of Beetlejuice today. Would you mind introducing yourselves?
Hi, I'm Justine, Collette. I'm Beetlejuice.
Hi, I'm Bella, and I play Lydia.
Awesome. Well, we are super excited to have them here, and they're here until this Sunday only. So get your tickets, all those details and more at BroadwayInChicago.com. But first, welcome to Chicago. You are no stranger to Chicago. You studied at IO Theater.
Yeah.
What time was that in, and have you been back since?
Yeah, it was like a little over a decade ago now. I studied there before, when they were back up when they were across the street from Wrigley Field before they moved out to their like megaplex. So when it was just like two theaters. I used to go to shows there. You could go for free if you had a student ticket. I went every night for like a year, pretty much, just watching improv and doing sets and hanging out and meeting people. And I learned so much that year that I was here. It was crazy. Loved it.
So fun. So now that you're back, what are some things that you are working on doing while you're here, or like seeing while you're here? Is there any bucket list items?
Yeah, immediately I wanted to get an apartment in Old Town, so now I'm living in like an area that like I definitely couldn't have afforded to live in when I was living in a one-bedroom split like two ways when I was here the first time. And yeah, I wanted to go to all my favorite restaurants and hang out in Lincoln Park and go see the lake and just be in Chicago. I just love walking around here. I took the L home just for fun the other night but it took me like an extra like 20 minutes, but didn't care.
You know,
and the doors popped open and our poster was there. It was a very cool night.
it's the whole experience. You
know,
the sights and smells of the CTA.
Yeah,
you know?
I miss the Chicago funk. It's weird. It made me tear up a little bit and also gag.
Yeah, it does do that sometimes. It does have that effect. But Bella, is this your first time in Chicago, or have you been before?
Yeah, I've never been here before, and I love it here. It's very nice here.
Well, welcome. I hear that you are a matcha girly.
I am. How did you know?
I did a little deep dive on you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in each city you try and go find like a little coffee shop or something.
I do. I love doing that, finding some little cafes.
So, okay, have you found your spot here yet?
Not yet. I'm still looking around. There's a lot of I went to this one cafe called Dollop Coffee, I think is what it's called. It was really close. It was walkable from where I'm staying, so it was really cute. Yeah.
Okay, we have to know, what makes a good matcha? Is there like a secret ingredient or process?
This is a lot of pressure. I don't know. I would say that it's not bitter, I guess. Mm-hmm. Having like a good quality matcha. I actually can't believe I'm talking about this.
I'm very happy you are.
Getting like a good quality matcha, so it doesn't seem like super like, I know some people think it tastes like grass, but I disagree.
Okay, well, if you have a recommendation for Bella for a good matcha spot in Chicago, let us know.
Please
send it her way. Well, it's so great that you two are here. Are you looking forward to seeing anything in Chicago? Well, I know that you've been here for a little bit, but what are some sites that you've been seeing?
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to explore as much as I can. Yesterday I went on one of the boat tours, like on the river, which was really cool. It was a beautiful day yesterday, and just being able to kind of see around the city, that was really great. Yeah.
So good. Well, now this is your professional debut of the show. Congratulations.
Thank
you.
A recent
high school graduate. Do you feel like this experience has been a bit of a whirlwind for you, or do you feel pretty grounded in each new city that you're going to?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it was crazy at first. I mean, I had never, this is the most traveling I've ever done in like my entire life, so kind of adjusting to a different city every week has been crazy, but super rewarding, like seeing so many fans around the United States like that love the show. It's been really great. I think I've been a little more grounded now. We've been doing it for a little while, so I think I'm finally getting kind of a little groove with it, like having a routine.
Yeah. What are some things that you are finding that help you stay present in each move?
Definitely sleeping a lot, because our shows are late at night. I feel like if I'm well rested, which I feel like that's a given, but I mean sometimes I forget. Just like being well rested, and then like also just taking time to relax. Like sometimes I stress myself out trying to be like, I need to do something every single day, but taking time to relax and not being so stressed out about that, I think has been nice.
Absolutely. Now, I read in some interviews that you have done with previous publications that you say that working with a lot of these experienced actors like Justine, that it feels like almost kind of like your own college. can you tell us a little bit about what's something recent that you've learned from your fellow actors that you, didn't know before, I guess?
Yeah, I think a lot of learning for me is just being a part of it. I mean, you can hear a lot of, I think school's great, but I mean, being hands-on about it, I think has like really allowed me to grow a lot more as an actor. I think the one thing I've been able to learn was to, I guess, like, not take things so seriously in every performance. We do a lot of shows a week. And in the beginning, I felt like I was stressing myself out sometimes, like trying to make it perfect every time. And, being around like so many great actors and them being a little more chill about everything. And like, if you make one mistake, it's not like your life isn't over. Like, that's just like what happens. And I guess it feels more human, like being so close with everyone in the show who has been doing this way longer than I have.
Absolutely. Justin, for you, now you've done so many shows, including stuff on Broadway as well. What specifically drove you to say yes to the show?
I really understood the role and thought it was really good. I saw the out of town of it in DC, and I thought the book was so funny, and I just loved the character. And when the opportunity came up to play him, I like knew exactly how I wanted to do it and exactly who he was going to be. And that doesn't happen often. Like, often when you get like a script, it's like, how am I going to be this person? And this one was more like, how do I get to play him? Yeah.
Do you think he's misunderstood?
No, I don't think he's misunderstood. I don't think he possibly. I think he'd be so frustrated to hear that, because he's so direct with what he wants and what he's after, and I think that he would be. I think he would be like remiss if people thought that he was not being clear in his intentions. I think that's what's so fun about him, is that he's just like, he's id. He's just like animal. He's appetites. He's just like, he's hungry and he wants stuff and he's just yelling about it. And I think that's like, at some point relatable to everybody.
So as you two were developing your characters together and you play off each other so much, it's the ice machine. As you've been playing off of each other so much, do you feel like your chemistry as characters came pretty naturally, or did it take a second for you to find your groove?
I think we clicked. Really, I feel like we okay. I think we have pretty similar personalities.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know. I always thought you were so funny and great to get along with, like when we first met. So I never had an issue with connecting with you, but
yeah. It was
I don't
a lot
know.
of work for me. I had to learn a lot about myself in order to learn a lot about Bella, I think.
You have to learn patience.
I learned so much patience. I love her. Like from when we first met, it was just so easy. She's such a hard worker, and she's so sincere about what she does, and I just love that. And I think that's kind of like, I think our characters kind of have good chemistry on stage too, because we both approach the work the same way. I think the way we approach our characters is kind of the same way. We both try to they're both big characters, and I think we try hard to ground them in a way and like ground them with each other. And I like that a lot. I like that when I play with Bella's like Lydia, that it feels like I'm on stage with like a real person. It helps me ground this insane character a lot more.
Absolutely. Well, we have to take a second to talk about the voice of Beetlejuice. And I saw in a video that you do the voice a little bit differently than Alex Brightman did.
Yeah.
And do you feel, because I also see that you do a lot of voiceover work.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like that helped you in a way to form this voice? Or did you feel like you were influenced in any way by Alex's voice? Or just talk to me a little bit about that creation process of your voice.
Yeah, so like I did a lot of cartoon voice work where I would do hours and hours in the studio redoing different characters, playing multiple characters in a single episode, trying different voices for different characters over and over again. And I also was interested in that when I was a kid too. Like I used to watch like Disney movies like Aladdin and try to do all of the voices and try to figure out how to make that happen. Like I've always really been interested in that. And so when I was developing the the character voice for Beetlejuice, I knew that I needed to have malleability in it because I wanted him to be like soft and like kind of like vulnerable in moments as well as being really big. And so Alex used false vocal cords to make his Beetlejuice, which is like a technical technique that I spent like 5 minutes looking at it. I was like, not for me. I'm gonna just try to do it. I like the range that I get to have with him. I think I can do more of like a Genie Robin Williams-y fucking oops, I said fucking thing where I switch between different characters more easily because I'm in my natural speaking voice, and I like being able to have those vocal dynamics with him.
If you could give a piece of advice to fellow actors who are also maybe just starting out their voiceover career, what advice would you give them when they're trying to develop a character?
Yeah, I would say if you're like developing a cartoon character, record yourself doing it. And often when you're in the studio, they're going to ask you for like an ABC of a reading of a thing, which means they want you to read one line 3 different times. And often I find beginners will like say the line the same way all 3 times. Like it'll be like, I'm going to the store, I'm going to the store, I'm going to the store. Like there's no real variation in anything in that besides like speed and weird intonation. So practice making like a 3 lines sound completely different from each other. Like change like the character's like intention, change the speed of it, change the delivery. Like really think about giving people different options, because when you're in an audition room for cartoon voice acting, they want to make sure that you're malleable and you can take notes on the fly.
Absolutely. Now, Bella, for you, I read in an interview that you did that you grew up in a pretty big theater community, and you talk about how you have a really solid support system of your friends and family who have supported you in your journey as an actress. Can you talk a little bit more about your support system? And I think the importance of that too, because, I think perhaps for some high schoolers, which you were not so long ago, that maybe some families would think like maybe you should have a backup career.
Yeah.
Or, but your family and friends, it seems that they were all in on you. I'd love to hear more about, having that support system around you and more about that.
Yeah, I am so thankful every day from where I grew up of having such a nice community filled with artistic people. I mean, some of my best friends are like the most talented people I've ever met, and I am so thankful for my parents too. They've always told me, like, just do what you want to do. Like, does not matter what it is. Like, if this is what you want to do, like, we will help you along the way. Like, we'll do whatever we can, and I'm so thankful for that. Because, it's important, in my opinion, to have people that say that, like, I believe in you. So I would say sometimes, like, I always felt like my parents had a little too much faith in me sometimes. They'll be like, yeah, you'll do it. Like, you got it. Like, you'll do the show. And I'm like, oh, okay, wait, now I have to like actually do it now. But yeah, I'm so thankful. I mean, I learned a lot too. I did a lot of community theater and high school theater, and I had a lot of like great mentors with that too. So I feel like I've grown a lot and able to have like such a great sense of community when it comes to theater and acting and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And I think too, not only just personally your support systems, but also on social media, and the fans for the show are just incredible. Yeah. And I mean, just scrolling through both of your Instagrams, I see that your comments are just flooded with like praise of your performances and the excitement that people come with, and people getting all dressed up, and so fantastic to see. Do you two find that seeing that gives you motivation and strength in your performances, or do you feel it makes you maybe more nervous to see that?
I think it gives me a lot of motivation to do a show, because sometimes we get tired to do a show, and then whenever I see like people on their stories, like young girls being like, I'm so excited, like I love Lydia, or like I love this show, like I finally got tickets. I mean, it makes you excited to perform it, because especially if they're seeing it for the first time, like your version is what they're seeing for the first time. And so I feel like that gives me a lot of motivation to like do my best work, even if it's people I've never met before. I mean, I always want them to enjoy it and, have a good thing to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's so motivating. If I'm having like a really, really bad day, I'll try to like sneak across the front of the theater before I go into the stage door to see everybody like waiting in costume to get in and talking about how excited they are to see the show. And it's like, all right, right. Like there's a lot of these people that are so excited to be here today, and like I get to do that for them and with them, and that's great.
Absolutely. Now there's so many fantastic props in the show.
Yes.
I want to know what are your favorites?
Oh my god, the head.
You like the head?
The ripped off
the severed
head.
head. The severed head is very cool.
It's just like so detailed, and it makes me laugh so hard because it looks so really. I feel like far away it looks like whoa, that is scary, but I love that one.
I love my microphone in like in the choir thing, like the Friday of Their Lives. I have this like bejeweled microphone that I pull out of nowhere, and it's
that
really
is so
really,
random. I love it.
It's my favorite. I like every night I lift it. I was like glistening in like the lights. It's my little microphone's my favorite prop, I think. Also the sandworm. Oh, that's not really a prop. It's a person.
Sandy,
the sandworm.
Absolutely. I would love to know if and how your portrayal of your characters have changed at all since when you first began with the show and even in the rehearsal process to now, and you've been on the road for quite some time now.
I think I've learned to kind of take some moments to dial it back a little more. In the beginning of the show, I had never done an 8-show-a-week schedule, so I was really trying to get used to that. I mean, it's kind of it's a marathon of a show, not with just the singing, but also the acting. It all, it adds up. And so I feel like over time I've learned to like find new moments where I can dial it back a little bit, but still be like intentional and like for what, the character is saying, without, pushing it every single time I say my lines or sing my songs or, what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for me, I think like the start of this process was like so defined about what I wanted the character to not be, like things I wanted him to not say and things I wanted him to not do, and I don't want to do like a bad version of this, or Alex used to do this, or Michael Keaton did this. Like I was so in my head about what I didn't want to do to make it seem like I was doing that bad version of someone else, that like now that the months have gone by, it feels like a little looser, and I'm more looking at like things that I can do because I've found him more. So it's more of like an open process than like don't do that, figure something else out.
Absolutely. Well, you two did such a fantastic job in the show. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. So appreciate it.
Yes.
For all those who are watching, come see Beetlejuice. They're here at the Auditorium Theater until this Sunday only, November 19th. So get your tickets. They're also coming back in May. All those details and more at BroadwayInChicago.com. It's going to be such an amazing time.
Amazing time.
Amazing time. We have $25 lottery, $49 rush, and best available seats can be found for Tuesday through Thursday performances. So get your tickets. All those details and more at BroadwayInChicago.com. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.